the president of the Iowa City Federation of Labor, as I have been for many years. Over 20 years, I think, out of the last 23. This idea was nothing of my making. About 20 years ago, I started working up in Cedar Rapids for the Labor Council up there, and came to realize that they already had a program like this going with the treasurer up there. I think his name was Mike Stevenson. Does that sound right? And they had an arrangement worked out. I was kind of astounded that, and I kind of always worry that maybe I shouldn't be talking too loud about this. We've got 99 counties in the state of Iowa, and up to that point in time, 98 of them were throwing their license plates in the landfill. And the DOT was actually the one doing the dumping. They were taking them as a courtesy to get rid of them when they dropped off the new plates. And I thought that was ridiculous. And as soon as I became familiar with the program, I did talk to our local treasurer about seeing if we couldn't replicate something like that. The two concerns that I had, and obviously the treasurer would have, was that the plates remained secure once they were, once we had got them. And that, there's a couple levels on that. I deal with a recycler all the way up in Marion because I trust him and he trusts me. He knows that I'm going to bring him a clean load, and I know that that load's going to stay off the street. And that's been the chemistry that's made the whole thing work, along with the cooperation of the county treasurer, which would be impossible to do if he was not willing to do this. But when I first suggested it, he did some back checking and found, indeed, the DOT really doesn't have a policy on what to do with the old plates, which again I think is ridiculous, and I always wonder if I should keep my mouth shut because there's a lot of money there that's it could be recycled for very little effort. I mean, Tom pretty much described the process, but it could probably be a lot more mechanized and be done a lot quicker, easier, but we take the plates, and I get them from Tom, store them in my garage, over the winter at least. We don't like doing it in the winter time, but as soon as we get some warm weather, I'll get a group of people out there, and basically what Tom said is what we do. We go through them, pull the steel ones out, pull the plastic or anything else that's foreign material off, repack them in boxes, and then I or somebody with me will take them up to Marion, and they'll give us a check, which we put into our Community Services Fund, which is a dedicated fund at Iowa City Federation of Labor. It doesn't get merged with any of our other money. And then we field local requests for donations. Well, on very few exceptions, we've funded beyond Johnson County, and that had been for things maybe like the Iowa Red Cross or something like that. All of our, we try to keep all of our donations local and support local charity. And over the years, that's just really added up. I'm the first one to say I'm astounded to realize that in the last 20 years, we've come up with over $30,000 in aluminum, which is great for local charity, but I think it's great for local landfills too, to keep, especially during, to think about it during Earth Week, to keep that much aluminum out of a place it doesn't need to be. So for us, it's been a win-win, and I'm willing to take some credit for getting it going, but Tom, who was up here earlier, and several of the people that are sitting behind me have been volunteers, have come out to my house and done that recycling. I mean, we can go through a box or a load of plates that I'll get from Tom, which is usually the back of my Taurus, although sometimes we'll use the pickup truck. And we can go through those in a couple hours, 3 hours. And after that, as Tom said, we usually have a potluck and maybe tip back a couple more aluminum items before we wrap it all up. But it's not an arduous task for my group of volunteers, and I appreciate them coming out and doing that, because it would be a lot of work if it just was my wife and I that were trying to go through all those plates. But when you have 5 or 6 people out there, we can do it in a couple hours and have a meal and maybe a couple brewskis, and everybody goes home and is done by 5 o'clock. You know, we start about 3, and I kick them out about 5 o'clock, send them back home. So the box outside was, I think Tom had a lot to do with that idea, and once we decided that we were going to move forward with that, we called on the apprenticeship program up at the Carpenter's Apprenticeship Hall in Cedar Rapids. So that beautiful box outside, which was built with cedar, was built by the apprenticeship program, our apprenticeship program in Cedar Rapids, which covers the Iowa City area. And that's kind of how that has come to be there. We appreciate the partnership with the county and the ability to be able to continue this recycling program. It wouldn't be possible without the cooperation of locally elected officials to be able to allow us to do that. I mean, clearly the DOT is okay with it, but still it would require a nod from all of you folks to make sure that we can continue to do that. And we appreciate the fact that you allow us to continue to do that, and hope we can maintain this relationship for some time to come. Thank you.